All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over a little worlds breakdown, right? Just something that, from at least from the matches we were watching, some like a common issue or just basically a common scenario that we saw in a lot of the worlds matches, and that's dealing with the spider lasso, right? Super annoying guard, very difficult. We're going to break it down, at least the ways that I like to approach passing it, understanding the issues behind it, why it's such a hard guard to pass, and yeah, just overall how we can develop a system to getting around those legs and breaking the grips. Cool, so let's get started. So again, like a lot of the gi matches this year at the black belt level, and I'm sure at the lower level, I just didn't watch them, but a lot of it is just people getting stuck in spider lasso. And it's unfortunate because it's not the most fun to watch. Again, being someone who's came up the rankings competing in the IBJJF circuit, I understand the strategy and why people play the guard. But let's just first explain like why it's a hard guard to deal with in the beginning. So, and if you guys compete, you guys can attest to this. So again, there's two types of spider lasso. There's spider deep lasso where the toes are tucked into the armpit, and there's like a half lasso. Okay, now what makes this guard hard to pass is one, people at the elite level have just strong grips, very strong grips, really good isometric strength. But two, it's kind of a hard dilemma because in the rule set, right, there's not really anyone that's holding the advantage. So the initiative isn't really on either person. So what you kind of see is you see the guy on bottom playing guard just kind of holding and waiting for the top person to initiate a pass. And then when the top person initiates the pass, the bottom person starts to try to off balance. But if the top person is just pressuring and doesn't initiate going outside of the legs, you'll often just see the bottom guy holding the position. And this is not to like throw blame at anyone. It's kind of more of the rule set and basically people trying to use strategy and find any advantage that they can and conserve energy any way that they can. Okay, so that's where you kind of find these stalemates because, again, probably what you guys saw in the matches is like guys trying to break grips. They finally break a grip and they run outside the legs. Then partner off balances, regains, and then now you're back here again. Right? And then it's just like a series of those scrambles never really getting anywhere because one, top guy's having a hard time passing because the bottom guy's just holding. And then the bottom guy usually only attempts to sweep when the top guy is initiating a pass. So it just creates this basically stalemate. But let's talk about how to approach the pass. Okay? So let's talk about the regular lasso where my opponent's toes are either tucked under my tricep or the armpit, depending on the length of their legs and the flexibility. So first things first, one, the main thing keeping me stuck here is the lasso, but we can't deal with the lasso unless we free ourselves from the spider hook. So even though the lasso is really what's keeping us stuck, we have to deal with the spider hook first. So the way that I do it, let's just say Nate's got a spider lasso here. Whatever side he has the spider guard hook. Okay, I'm going to shift that leg forward here. Yeah, see that? So he has my left arm, therefore my left leg's going to come here. Okay, now the key here, is I bring my knee right into Nate's knee here, and I find this like lunge position. Okay, now what I'm looking to create is I'm looking to create a bend, okay, in Nate's knee. But there's a detail on how to do this, and it took me a long time because before I would just like kind of jam my knee in and I would keep leaning over. But you have to understand when they have a spider lasso and you keep leaning your head forward, that is what makes you off balance. So when you guys bring the knee in, you have to keep your weight directly over their hips, not their chest. If your head goes over the chest, they're going to off balance. So my head is going to stay directly over Nate's hips and I lead with my hips like this. So not trying to jam like that or like trying to step, okay? Or even some people are trying to use their feet. Just lean with your hips. Let's see if we can see it from the side. I get here and I lean with my hips. Even if you have to drop to that knee to keep your posture, that's fine. But you don't want to lean over the head. Okay, so once I get that bend in the leg, now I pummel and get this hand here. Okay, now I can pop up. I'm still in this lunge. Notice my right foot. I'm on the ball of my foot. Okay, now from here, okay, Nate's legs are a little bit shorter, so his hook's already popping out. But imagine someone longer. Okay, once I've dealt with that hook, okay, we're gonna deal with the lasso now. Okay, for me personally, this depends. Either sometimes I'll be gripping the collar just with the last 3 fingers like this, but not super attached where I'm squeezing, because again, if I squeeze on Nate, I'm giving him the opportunity to off balance. I just kind of have 3 fingers and I'm kind of like loosely keeping the grip, or oftentimes I just find myself placing my hand here. I won't even try to like strain my forearms and my grips by grabbing if it's not necessary. So I'm going to show you guys with a free hand. So again, free hand or just like a loose 3 collars on the last 3 fingers in the lapel. I just keep a loose hand. So we're here. Nate has a spider hook. Shift my hips in. You can see I'm getting his knee to his shoulder here, but my weight's over the hips, not over the head. And I pummel. Okay, now from here, okay, I'm going to hinge my hips back and I'm going to bite down, bring my shoulder to my forearm here. Okay, now the key is getting around this foot. Okay, now there's a couple ways you guys can do it. If you can stay up, you can bring this hand across and then drag it. Okay, and keep my foot here, Nate. So now from here, right, once I get the leg dragged, I'm going to drop this knee. Okay, and the key is, again, to keep pulling this leg up as I roll this hand through. Okay, but again, I want to overcommit again and create some scrambles where I get off balance. Okay, you look at this. Okay, so from here, my knee's going to come in blocking the hip. Okay, knees blocking Nate's hip. Nate, try to move. Okay, here, this is what I want. Okay, now as he begins to bridge, I'm just wedging his hips, and this is where I'll start rolling my wrist through. Now right away, hand's going to go to the back of the collar. You can go to the knee, you could underhook the leg, and then you're going to start driving that forehead, okay, across the mat. Okay, if I can end up with the sleeve, this is great. Okay, now I just keep my head here. Okay, and I'm starting to smash through the guard right to mount. Okay, again. Half lasso, it's deep. Sorry, not half lasso, deep lasso. Here, find the knee. Look at how I push off my back foot to get his knee to his shoulder here. Now I hinge down. Okay, hands loose here. Okay, if I can pass the leg and drop the knee, great. If I can't get the foot, okay, I'll bite down, keep my ear here. Okay, and then I can start turning and then use my hip to peek it out. Now once I get here, okay, Nate, go ahead, make your grips, Nate. Okay, from here, okay, sometimes you can even pull the leg too. I'll cup right here. Now, as Nate goes to extend, that's when I roll my body again. So I stay attached. I'm not putting weight. I'm just staying here. As he extends, now I rotate. Free my hand, back of the collar, pants, or underhook and grab the wrist is also a strong grip. And we're driving that forehead right to the mat. Okay, now my knee's coming over the hips and we're passing right to mount. Okay. Now let's talk about another situation is if we can't get to the leg drag. So we're here jamming, look, I'm walking, boom. Okay, I can't get Nate's toes out. I can't get his toes out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop to my knee. This is a little detail that actually I learned from Hodger Gracie that was a game changer. A lot of times, like I said, you'll see people commit here or they'll go 4 fingers with the top of their hand facing up, okay? Then once they break this grip, they try to knee slide, okay? But here, if I grip like this, when Nate opens his knees, my whole body is gonna go with him, okay? So when I clear the leg, the grip I actually want, when I make this grip, is I want palm up. And you guys are gonna have to try this with your partner, but when I have palm up, grip here, and I knee slide over, try to off balance Nate, okay, it detaches my arm from his lasso. But as soon as I flip the grip, boom, I go with it. So if we can't clear the toes into leg drag, okay, again, we gotta deal with the spider hook. Okay, take your time, even if you have to drop to your knee here, because I can't get his toes out. And if I gotta get palm up grip here. Now I'm gonna knee slide, open my knee, knee slide, and then stay low below the sternum. So Nate's gonna try to off balance. Let them try to off balance. When they return, okay, now I'm gonna shift and start going into that over under pass here. Now, once you guys get here, for sure, they're gonna be stubborn. They're gonna be stubborn and not wanna let go of that grip, okay? So all I have to do is be patient. I gotta just keep walking until Nate's lasso leg is pinned on the ground. Okay, now from here, you see variations where guys will attack the knee bar from here. Or you just tripod and then start pummeling that hand out. Once again, I prefer staying on the hips. I'll walk the leg weave and then mount here, okay? So if you can't drag the foot, you're gonna go over the shin and force it over under position. The key is having that palm up grip on the belt and not down so you don't get whipped over with the lasso. Okay, so last one, let's talk about the spider lasso, but half lasso where they're stepping on the bicep. Okay, they're stepping on the bicep, same thing here. Okay, again, a lot of times, like, I feel like maybe not the most technical approach, looks sick, right? Everyone's just like stepping on everything and just ripping and throwing. Okay, but against, you want to respect the guard, right? Like, jiu-jitsu is about minimal effort, maximum efficiency, although I know at the sport level we don't always see that. Okay, it's going to be really hard to rip your hands out like that. Okay, so once again, he has a half lasso. I want to approach the same way. Okay, bringing that knee to his chest, breaking. Okay, but with the half lasso, okay, here, this is especially where I'm going to want to grab the gi, either collar here would be like my preference, or like you can even just grab the gi here. Okay, I'm gonna flare my elbow. So once I break this grip, now I'm gonna shift and bring this knee behind my elbow here. And I learned this from Lucas Lepre. He used to be really good at this. So here I have a grip on the pants and my elbow's flaring out, my elbow's flaring out here. So usually what you find is the guard player is gonna like push the back of their head into the mat and they're trying to hamstring curl like this. And I just keep walking his legs into a stack pass like this. Okay, once again, half lasso, he's stepping on my bicep, okay? Again, get that knee to the shoulder, hips, head over the hips, pommel, open my elbows here, and I just be patient. I'm just patient here, okay? Now my head, specifically, I'm trying to put my head right over Nate's head here on this side. Boom. Okay, now if I can continue to stack him, okay, I'm gonna drop my knee here, and this hand can start going to the belt. Okay, now here there's a lot of ways you guys can finish, right? I can pinch. The one where we all know, right? And I remember drilling this so much at AOJ is the leg drag. But again, against guys with flexible guards, I always find like this was so hard to finish the pass, and you actually don't really see people finishing it like that too often. So what I prefer is to stay in the stack. So we're here, jamming, boom. Open my elbows here. Okay, you guys see my knees? Okay, instead of going to leg drag, what I'm gonna do is just punch this hand all the way across. Sorry, Nate. Keep that bottom leg pinned. We're gonna stay here on top of the hip until I can commit my head. Now I split the legs. Okay, we can walk to a leg weave. Right to mount. One more time. Let's try this angle. All right, we'll go this way for the grip work. Jamming the knee to the knee to the shoulder. Pommel, circle, knee to elbow here, and we're driving. Patient. Now, guys, you see my hips here? Now, the hand that was here, I'm gonna go across, and I keep my head there. And basically, it's just patience here. Patience, 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 patience until your head collapses. Weave that leg right away. You guys can pummel over. Leg weave. Mount. Okay, so that's passing spider lasso. Again, it's pretty simple. Again, I'm not saying it's easy. Simple steps, but you just have to stay disciplined. So just to recap, full lasso, everything's gonna start by breaking the spider grip, understanding where to put our body over it, weight over the hips, not over the head, so we don't get off balance. Use your shin to drive the knee to the shoulder to compress that side. Palm of the hand, we circle around, we try to get the lasso out. If we get the lasso out, great, we're gonna leg drag, okay? If we can't get the toes out, palm up grip, slide over the shin, we're gonna go over under pass. We'll just call it the Hadra Gracie, okay? And then lastly, if it's half lasso, we're looking to stack them and stay stacked. Don't release that weight. Again, it's not wrong, it's definitely a technique. Like I used to do it a lot, but I just found at the higher levels, it's so hard to leg drag guys and let alone complete the pass there. Okay, so hopefully that works. Yeah, as always, please like and subscribe to support the channel and leave us a comment. Let us know if you guys try it, if it worked for you, if you see something better, and just what else we can do better as a channel, because we want to keep bringing you guys good content of value. And yeah, as always, thank you guys for supporting. See you on the next one.